But without further ado, I'd like to introduce our honored guest, the 45th governor of the state of Wisconsin, Governor Scott Walker.
Good morning. When you think about the Wisconsin idea, the concept not only at this campus but throughout the UW system, is the Wisconsin idea in part at least is that the boundaries of the state are the boundaries of the campus. And here you're making the boundaries of the community, not just the campus, but the New North, this whole region, not just Oshkosh, but throughout the New North. A key element and witness to having people here from the business community here in Oshkosh and throughout the New North, and so I appreciate that. And so with the new flex option that the President highlighted your attention to the other day, we're providing one more opportunity, particularly in key areas like healthcare, IT, and engineering, where to say if you don't have the time to go back and sit in the classroom, if you don't have the time or the resources to spend that you might if you were in a traditional undergraduate situation, there's one more offering on top of that where, particularly if you're maybe worked the last 5-10 years at an employer where you picked up some skills, say in engineering, but we're not going to do what some institutions do and just give you credit for life experience. No, we want a University of Wisconsin degree, no matter which campus, no matter what program you get, to mean something. We're going to make it competency-based, but if you come in, and I mentioned this actually, a number of the employees at the company I was at in the last week were very interested in this. They were employees that had worked with engineers but didn't have an engineering degree. Well, they're going to break it down into modules, and instead of just credits, if you can test out of it's a 12-module component for that class, if you can test out of 10 of the 12, you'll get credit for that, and then you just have to take the time and pay the resources to get your training in the 2 that you don't have. So that we take and we sort out what are you competent in, what are you not yet competent in, and how do we help you get the skills, limit the amount of time, limit the amount of money, get more people with the degrees they need to pick up the jobs in engineering and IT and healthcare and other areas to get people plugged into the workforce. What I love about that program, and Chancellor Ray Cross deserves a whole lot of credit from the UW Extension and UW colleges for kind of being Kevin Riley's point on that, but then working with all the chancellors at all the other campuses to make sure that we have a competency-based program that do so in a way that is relevant. We think that sessions like today are so incredibly important, not so much for what's said today, but for what the follow-up is thereafter. So we're committed to working with the University of Wisconsin here at the Oshkosh campus, system-wide, our technical colleges as well, because they're an integral part of that link as well, and to making sure that at a statewide basis, our Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation continues to work directly with Jerry in the New North and the leaders here, and with our other regional partners across the state of Wisconsin, so that our employers aren't getting multiple layers of things they have to do. The more integrated, the more seamless we can make things, the better off it is. So whether you talk to somebody at WBC, you talk to Jerry, you talk to part of the team here in economic development, the more we can make it seamlessly connected, the better off we are. But the commitment this campus has as part of the larger, I said, Wisconsin idea. One good example of that, I'm sure he's going to touch on, but when you think of the new era, the efforts with the regional New North efforts here with higher education and looking at areas like engineering, where there's tremendous need, and highlighting a way to help the manufacturers, in particular this region. That's a good example of where saying this is that relevance we talked about, and whether it's their economic development, business development, those are all things that the University of Wisconsin, particularly this campus, can help out with this in this community, in this region, in the state. That's why we're committed to being here today. So with that, I'll turn it back over, and thank you all for joining us here this morning.